Bold and beautiful jaw-dropper. The shocking reveal that will leave Finn's life in ruins. He's set his marriage on fire. Hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. An embrace and a promise. That's all it took for Bold and Beautiful's Finn to set up the inevitable demise of his marriage to Steffi. Yes, Sheila's redemption tour has officially kicked off, but if this soap stays true to form, there will be a reveal down the road that some will find downright shocking. With the incredible story playing out surrounding Sheila and Sugar, our favorite love-to-hate villain has managed to not only cement her relationship with Deacon, who had one foot out the door of their engagement before her disappearance, but also to win the acceptance and love she coveted more than anything in the world, that of her son Finn. It's quite a windfall for Sheila, and we have a very hard time believing the nefarious psychopath was an innocent victim. Sheila could barely contain her delight upon hearing about the lovely memorial service Deacon and Finn held for her when they thought she was murdered at Steffi's hand. And when Finn embraced her and promised she'd never be alone, it was like all of her Christmases come at once. Both Finn and Deacon took Sheila's story at face value, but we're beyond skeptical. For starters, if you believe Sheila loves Steffi, we have an oceanside retreat in Montana we'd like to sell you. Deacon and Finn may have completely forgotten the drama that preceded Sheila's disappearance, but we haven't. Steffi decked the madwoman, who was well past the point of losing her carefully curated cool when the men broke it up. Sheila loathes Steffi. Let's be real. If the scene in the warehouse had actually played out with Sugar telling Sheila she was going off to kill Steffi, the psychopath would have offered to draw her a map to the Cliff House and said, "Have at her." There are other clues, besides Sheila getting everything she wanted all wrapped up in a nice, neat package, that something in this story smells fishy. Sheila kept disappearing to meet with Sugar and kept it from Deacon. It reeks of plotting and strategy meetings. Not to mention that Deacon mentioned Sheila buying loads of stuff from the convenience store, supplies to keep her going whilst locked up in the abandoned warehouse. What if the plan was for Sugar to strangle Steffi to death and then proceed with the next phase of the scheme, which went sideways when Steffi stabbed her to death, thus stranding Sheila in the warehouse for longer than intended? One has to admit it's strange that she didn't want to go to the hospital, maybe because they would have discovered she wasn't dehydrated or starving at all. If you think about it, how was Deacon able to access Sheila's text messages so easily? Perhaps because she made sure it would be easy for him to find something that would eventually lead him to find her, or that would at least work to establish she was afraid of Sugar after the crime was committed. Had the plot gone down as it was supposed to, Steffi would be dead, and Sheila would have a solid alibi, having been locked up when the murder went down. She'd also have the texts as proof that Sugar was the party responsible for killing her son's wife. Finn would allow himself to be consoled by his birth mother, who would move in and help him raise Hayes. How would Sheila have convinced Sugar to participate in this scheme? Let's not forget she once convinced the woman to submit to plastic surgery in South America. Her powers of persuasion are legendary. If you don't believe us, just ask Deacon. If our hunch is correct, Finn will blow up his marriage for Sheila, only to discover that she was the mastermind behind all of it, and that she actually plotted Steffi's death. By then, it will be too late. Steam will be a thing again, and Finn's world will have been turned upside down and inside out by the nefarious woman he calls birth mother. The good doctor should have heeded the forester's warnings about Mommy Dearest. Sheila Carter is not a character that should be redeemed, and we don't think she will be. Let us know how you think this bold and beautiful story will play out after taking a look back through Finn and Steffi's love story in the photo gallery below.